Sandra, welcome to another edition of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you and yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every like now or post a new video. First of all, if you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives book out on Amazon, so grab your copy now. So yes, I'm going to be respectful of privacy, obviously, but I did have a video date with a heterosexual guy who I met on Facebook dating. And, you know, I do a lot of videos about scammers, about, you know, what a bad guy looks like, what an unhealthy relationship looks like, signs to watch out for, everything like that. So I wanted to do this video to discuss with you what a healthy video date looks like and good things to look out for, so you can tell if it's a healthy date or if it's not a healthy date. And, you know, it can just like, you can kind of assess things more clearly. I think it's better once after you've had the date to have some reflection time. I think that's really important. So first of all, what is a video date? So sometimes lately I've got some guys in my inbox and they think when I say video date, I mean cam sex for some reason. It's like, how does video date translate into cam sex? I don't do cam sex. I don't have sex. I'm asexual. I'm personally sex repulsed for me. And there is no way I would be having sex with a camera, with a phone, or in any way, shape or form. And even when I was in heterosexual relationships past, I would never be doing that type of thing. None of my heterosexual exes even asked me for anything like that, which I'm so grateful to them for, right? So I had this video date and I was nervous because, as you know, I have anxiety. I have high levels of anxiety because I have generalized anxiety disorder. I also have a relationship anxiety and potential relationship anxiety. And this guy had shown a lot of interest in me. And so he's part Indian, which is really good for me. He's older than what I would usually be interested in. So I'll be very careful of what I say, because obviously I want to respect mine and his privacy. I want, you know, to keep some things like, you know, for me and him. But I thought it was important to go through some good things about the day. There wasn't really much not good. If I was to say two things that probably weren't so good, one is this is the only two things I can pick out at the moment. Is one is when I first said, like, you know, he messaged me like 10 minutes before our video date, which was absolutely adorable. I really loved that. I thought it was really good. So I knew that he was earlier, not just on time, but earlier. That showed that he was really keen on me, really interested in me. That was really, really good thing. When I'm talking about a healthy video date, I'm talking about good things that make me feel positive, good, and that were healthy. And that was a really healthy thing. At least 10 minutes before, he was messaging me already to see how my day was going, you know, how I slept, and, you know, very caring attitude. And that was a really, really good start. When it came to actually the only two things I would say that weren't so good is when I said, oh, you can call me now, because I was ready. He's like, you call me. And the way that was written was like a demand, you call me. Now, I've had foreign guys in the past that have been very, you know, giving me demands. And I've always said on this channel, I'm not taking demands and orders from a guy. I'm not a servant. I'm not a slave. I'm not someone you can command. I'm not subservient. I'm not submissive, you know. And I just don't like that type of way, that type of thing, you know, is spoken. It's like, you call me. It's not, oh, can you call me, please? It would be nice if you called me, or something like that. But he rectified that by saying ladies first afterwards. And then I thought, okay, old-fashioned gentleman type, I like that, so that is good. So he kind of like rectified that, and I was feeling better then. And I was like, okay, that's fair enough if you're putting it that way. So I was okay with it then. And I'll tell you the only other one thing is, like, I asked him what his like next 5 years goals is, and he didn't know it. You know, so and he didn't know whether he's well, he's only been in this country 2 years, so I don't think he's got permanent residency. So I guess that's three things. You know, because, you know, like, my only concern is, like, if he's only been in this country 2 years, he hasn't got permanent residency, and I don't even want to waste my time with a guy that's potentially going to go and move to another country or not be able to stay in this one. So that was a worry. And when I asked him about goals, he's like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing from one day to the next. And like, that's really not how I roll. You know, I'm like 5-year plan girl, or, you know, mapped out. You know, I always kind of know what I'm doing. I'm always organizing. I'm always like managing my time effectively. But obviously I am a different person to him. I live probably a different lifestyle to him. And I'm like running business stuff and vlogging and blogging, and I'm doing all sorts of things, so it requires really high level of management and organization. And even some of my new female friends lately who are asexual, they tend to be more spontaneous. They're not really into planning, organizing, so they kind of leave that to me. And so I think that might be good because it might be complementary. You know, I find that with the new asexual girl friends I've made, that it's very complimentary because I'm like the quick planner. I can even plan quickly. Like when we went to the aquarium, I was planning it out in the asexual meetup for the next day. The aquarium, I was like planning it all out with trains and times and everything. So I'm really quick to be able to plan something. So if it's spontaneous, it's not totally spontaneous with me usually because I'm still there planning. I'm planning the spontaneous activity as it's spontaneously going to occur soon, if you get what I mean. Because I'm just that type of person. I like order. I like to know what I'm doing, where I'm doing it, when I'm doing it. So I've got like contingencies and possibilities, and obviously with anxiety, I've got to manage that well, and that's partly what I need to do. So you know, just because he's different to me on that doesn't mean to say it's a really bad thing. It could be very good because it could be like, yeah, you know, like you tell me and I'll do it, right? Which is kind of what the girlfriends are like, you know, you tell me and I'll do it, right? So that can work quite well. So if we put aside like, so those few things that were kind of like not so sure about, the rest of it was really good. Really, like, I'll tell you how I feel because obviously I want to be careful of privacy. But how I felt throughout the date, what made it really healthy for me was because I felt very heard. He was listening to me attentively. I felt very seen by him. I felt very valued by him. I felt valued as an asexual person by him, valued even though he's heterosexual. I felt valued by him, as far as I know he is anyway. I felt valued by him in terms of my personality, in terms of my soul, in terms of my heart. I felt very, very valued and validated by this guy. So this has been very different, if you like, to a lot of the other dates I've had, video dates I've had. I've actually come away now feeling calmer than when I first had the video date with him. I've noticed over the time that we stopped video dating, I've had time to assess the situation. I've just put food in the oven not so long ago, and I've noticed that I feel calmer after I spoke to him. That's a huge difference for me because I usually have worse anxiety after I talk to a guy, and it just gets crazily out of hand to the point where I have to just stop seeing him. So it's a good sign that I'm actually calmer than I have been. My anxiety levels have gone down instead of up, which is a really good sign for me. I hope that continues because if it doesn't, you know, I have to put my own health first and myself first. So I'm still proceeding with caution. So I still have, for me, proceed with caution, but he seems so far, if I take the good qualities that I've seen so far, because obviously people can show you just their good side to start off with, right? Most people do that naturally. But if I take his good qualities, I can feel he has a very good heart. He's very open with his heart, which I love. He's very romantic. I mean, oh my God, he's so romantic. I love that. You know, I'm a hyper romantic. And the way he talks is really poetic. Like, naturally, I don't think he realizes he's even doing it half the time. And it was like, when he was talking to me, it's like he was talking poetry to me. And I love poetry. It's so romantic. So he is really, really romantic. And you know, I'm a hyper romantic. And I thought, God, this goes really, really well. I was a bit taken aback because he's older, but I knew he was older before I video chatted. So very initially I was like, oh my God, he's older for me. I wasn't sure. And then that really quickly diffused into, oh my God, he's so handsome. He looks like an actor or a model. He's so beautiful. Yeah. So that was like, you know, because I'm used to guys in their early to mid 20s mostly. This guy is like 32. So, but I'm glad he's older in a bit of a way, because I think he's probably, in terms of relationship, more serious. Which I need a guy who seriously wants a relationship with me, not someone who's undecided, uncommittal, and all the rest of the stuff, because that's not healthy. It's not healthy to spend time with guys who are emotionally unavailable, who can't be in a relationship with you, and who can't actually actively pursue you, and where you're just kind of like not feeling good. The reason I left feeling good about this date particularly was because he's genuinely interested in me. He genuinely likes me. He amazed me because he'd been spending like the night trying to research about me and my channel and everything I do. And he really seems to respect me and the work I do. And so that, as an asexual and an asexual kind of like, I don't want to say the word celebrity because it kind of, I don't know if it's the right word to use, but anyway, some people see me as an asexual, a celebrity. So when you're an asexual celebrity, I feel a bit weird saying that, but it kind of, you do get quite a lot of fans and quite a lot of guys saying things to you, but I need to see that is a genuine person, heart and soul saying it, not just because they're stargaze, but if they're stargazed as well as liking me as a person, it's nice. But when a person actively takes time and to study the work I do, to listen to me, to take an active interest in what I do, I know that that's a good guy for me, because the work I do for asexuals, I will never stop. I will be doing it, I believe, till the day I die. Well, particularly writing till the day I die, as well. Writing's my life purpose, followed very closely by asexuality. And I need a guy who's very supportive like that, even if he's not asexual himself. I need a really strong guy for me like that. So he was saying some stuff, which I'm not going to go into, but he was saying some stuff that that made him, in my mind, believe that he is a strong guy that probably could be without sex. I don't want to say he, I'm just going to say probably could be without sex. And he has to have kissing and I have to have kissing. So he loves kissing. And so I'm so happy about this, because kissing I have to have. As you know, I'm a hyper kisser and I cannot be without that. And so so there was in terms of relationship, like kissing and stuff, that seems quite compatible. But he didn't obviously he didn't have any like goals for the future. So I kind of like a guy who's got some idea of where he wants to go. But if even relationship goals and stuff. But the thing I loved about him is I didn't really get it at first. It's caught me off guard. He's like, oh, so when can we video chat next? And I thought he just wanted to end the conversation there and then, when I felt like I hadn't really been talking to him enough at that point. And I didn't realise he just wanted to book in another time to see me because he's eager to continue our dating, which is a really good thing. And now I'm thinking, oh, I should have kind of taken note of that more at the time, because it's really important for me to have a guy who does that, to drive the potential relationship forward without me having to ask, without me being the one that says when there's going to be the next date, because I don't like doing that all the time. It's one-sided then. I do prefer the guy to kind of like ask me, like, when can we see each other again? When can we date next? Make suggestions for that, which he did do. So I was really, really pleased about that. I thought that was really good. He was talking about me and him as in a future together. So he was putting me in his future picture. That was really healthy for me. It's really good. It means that he's serious. He's not going to mess me around and waste my time. Because I can't be doing with guys who are not serious and wasting my time. So I thought that was really good, really respectful. So not once did he mention anything sexual to me whatsoever. He's just like, I can control myself in that way, but I have to have kissing. I'm like, that's fine. It's really good for me. And he didn't talk any sexual stuff to me whatsoever. And as a sex repulsed asexual, I was so happy. He listened to a bit of the stuff I said about like like asexual and the fact I don't like sex. He listened to that without like really interjecting or judging it in a bad way. He just accepted it. It's like I accept it all, like. And so I thought it was really good because he accepted my boundaries. He respected my boundaries. He listened attentively. He was very positive about me. He was very validating. I felt very valued by him. And I felt that these are really, really nice, positive things. So my first date with him has been a overall a really good positive experience. It's only the first one video date, so it's the first one, so we have to proceed with caution. But I actually felt better for seeing him. I felt better for seeing him on camera. I felt like I could see he was a genuine guy. He's got a really deep soul, a beautiful heart. He's got very creative, which I love. And so yeah, I found it really good. I found it a very beautiful, magical, romantic experience overall that actually calmed me down. And I liked that. I need someone who's going to make me feel calm. Thanks for the thumbs up. Lots of love to you. I need a guy who's going to make me feel calm around him, and that I can be myself and lowers my anxiety, not makes it worse. Because a guy who starts making my anxiety worse is just going to be so bad for me. I did have anxiety, a lot of anxiety, quite a lot before I video chatted with him, but he reduced that. He didn't know that I was that anxious, I don't think. Because I kind of have anxiety all the time, so I kind of get used to it. But he was really nice, and I really felt like he loved my personality, my heart and my soul, which is the most important thing to me. Looks can change. Although I've just been doing a printer series for my other channel, which might put the unboxing video on here. And I recorded it 3 years ago in 2019. I pretty much look identical to what I did then. It's like 3 years has passed. I look like the same person because I don't really age much at all, which is great. Woohoo! Also, it's really funny because he saw my cuddly toys in my bedroom. And obviously, when I'm on Facebook dating, I'm putting my actual birth certificate age down there. And so when he saw my bedroom with the cuddly toys, I think he was like thinking, because people expect, really, when they see my birth certificate age, for me to act like that, I think, like the typical age that I would be on a piece of paper. And I'm like, oh yeah, these are my cuddly toys, and I live like a teenager, and I reprogram my mind to be like 21 years old. And so really, you're the older guy, the older person, and I'm the younger person, and I'm like, I'm nothing like my birth certificate age. And he could see my innocence and my sweetness, and he loved my looks, which is really nice. He's very, very beautiful aesthetically. Like, he looks like a model or actor of both, really stunningly beautiful. And I like the fact he's quite, he's not big-headed or egotistical about his looks, which is really, really good. And I like the fact he's more reserved than, he doesn't seem to be going after loads of women and stuff like that, which is really, really nice. He's made it clear he's really seriously interested in me, which I really like. So I don't have to guess that. I don't have to guess how did it go? Did he like me? Did he not like me? Is he serious? Is he not serious? And have all these kind of unanswered questions. So yeah, I think it's much, this is a much more healthier video date that I had compared to many of them before, in terms of a potential relationship. I'd say, I have had good video dates before, but in terms of it possibly going somewhere, usually I think this is probably the first one, because usually when I video date, the majority of the time either it's not good, or that it's with guys that are not going to be suitable for me to be in a relationship with them. Like, they've got no potential. Something happened in the video date, which is what video dates are for, to find out your compatibility with someone. That's the initial point of them. And with the others, usually I find out they're not compatible. I find out in the video date, through video dating, they're not compatible. This guy seems, in terms of a romantic relationship, seems to be quite highly possibly compatible with me, even though he's not asexual, which is really nice, actually. I did feel like he's quite controlled in that way, and yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens next, what happens in the future. I don't want to get too many hopes up, because I'm a hyper romantic. I can get my hopes dashed. I don't want to get my hopes up, but at the same time, I don't want to be too closed off. So I think proceed with caution, look after my heart, but also be a bit open to him at the same time as well, as much as possible, while still guarding my precious heart, because it's precious, right? And also, I am proceeding with caution because I have had obviously a lot of foreign guys in the past where they say really nice things and then as it goes down the line, that all changes. I hope it's not going to happen with him. I have to believe it's not going to happen with him. But, you know, we always have to keep our boundaries up, and we always have to be prepared to walk away if someone doesn't treat us right, even if we really like them, right? You always have to have that and know that, okay, there are plenty of guys out there in the world, plenty of people, right? Just because I'm asexual doesn't mean to say I can't get someone. I don't believe that. I believe that I am valuable and worthy of a relationship regardless of my asexuality. I am, you know, precious person, and the right guy will value that, right? So we have to, when we're assessing someone for a potential relationship, we have to assess them over a period of time, not just on the first date. But I think it's important to acknowledge if the first date was healthy or not, because if it's not, then you shouldn't really be going and carrying on with other dates with them, right? But if it's a healthy date and you're feeling good after it and you're feeling more relaxed and happy and it went well, then why not have another date and see how it goes, you know? So, you know, like I said, you know, to summarize then, you know, like a healthy date in comparison to a non-healthy date. In a healthy date, I felt valued, special, validated, appreciated. I found that this person had taken time to research about me and to care about the work I do. So I felt he cares about my work, which is really important to me. And I felt like by asking me out on another video date, then, you know, like he wanted to arrange it there and then, which I found really, really good. I liked that. So it's like, you know, and he's talking about me in a future way, like when we meet, right? Which is like he wants to meet me. Well, who wouldn't? But yeah, some guys haven't been like that. Some guys who are categorically no good for me in a relationship, we can't meet because we're just not suitable. And I find that out usually through video dating. But with this, it's got a lot of potential. And yeah, he's made it clear he is serious about me, which I really, really like. I do really like that. So it's good, you know, there's a lot of healthy stuff there. I particularly like the fact he respects my boundaries, and like he knows I don't want sex, he knows I don't want marriage, he knows I don't want kids, and he knows I want to live separately, and he's okay with all of those things. So this is good. So I really appreciate that, you know, that I've had this date with him. I think it's been a good experience, and I like the fact that I'm calmer and my anxiety's gone down. I think it's a really good thing. So yeah, so I will see how it goes. Because, you know, it's just the first day and everyone is kind of like in this, if you're really romantically attracted to someone, everyone's kind of in this romantic, like, oh my god, this is so romantic. Well, that's how it feels to me anyway, with this guy particularly. You know, but I have to say it's very magical, romantic experience. Yeah, a bit different to what I've experienced before because everyone's different. And yeah, because he's so romantic, I think that makes a huge difference, because he's such a romantic person himself. It makes the whole experience feel romantic, if you know what I mean. It's literally like it's a bit like floating on a cloud at times. And obviously I know that's not very practical, and it's kind of like, yeah, sad you know, like if you're looking for a serious relationship with a guy, you can't live in a cloud forever and a day, because it don't work like that, right? But you know, in terms of like the romantic magical cloud experience floating in the air, it was good. Rob, I've got my fingers crossed for you. Oh, lots of love, Rob. Nice to see you. Thank you. It would be good if this turns out well. Thank you for crossing your fingers for me. I really appreciate it. The guy is in the UK, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, and it's London, so it's a place I can get to as well. So I did meet another guy off Facebook dating that was a nice guy, very honest, genuine, kind, caring guy as well. But he is like just in the friend zone. He's not, you know, he's non-committal and doesn't know what he wants, probably going back to his country in a couple of years, so that's no good. But it was good that I established that before I had the date with this guy. So I wasn't wondering about the other guy, what if, like I already got that all sorted before I had the date with this guy. So I'm really glad about this. But yeah, thank you for crossing your fingers for me, Rob. I really appreciate that. You know, we never know what's around the corner. We never know who we're going to end up with for temporary or forever. But I have said to him, I don't do casual relationships. I don't do short-term relationships. So I really don't want to get a guy who's not sure or doesn't know what he wants, you know? It's very important that I get someone who really sees me like in a forever relationship with him. Because obviously people can change and nothing's guaranteed, and you can't say, you know, nothing unfortunately is guaranteed in this world. And it's quite sad because I, being an anxiety person, I kind of like guarantees. But there are no guarantees in life, are there? So, you know, but he has made it clear his feelings, and he seems to like a lot of communication, which is another really good thing. John. Oh, thank you. Lovely to see you, John. Hope it all goes well for you. Thank you. He has arranged another video date with me, so I'm going to see how that goes. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to see how that goes. I really appreciate him actually checking my channels out and learning about me. I found that really, really nice, because I've always thought in my head, like, if the guy's really keen on you, and if I was in a position of a guy and I really liked a girl on YouTube, I would be going around like researching all about her to try and find out about her, her life, her emotions, her thoughts, her feelings. That's what I would naturally do if I was really into someone. I would do that automatically, and he's like been up all night doing that. Bless his heart. I was like, oh my god, that is actually in and of itself one of the most romantic things someone has ever done, I think, for me. Like, spent a whole night just after his work just like researching me and learning about me and stuff. So I think that's really, really sweet, really, really nice, because I would definitely do that if I was serious about someone. You know, if I knew that they were a YouTuber and their work is really important to them, I'd want to be knowing all about that, you know, like, what am I going to get myself into? Like, what does this person like, and how are they, and how do they interact with others, and how do they feel, and how do they think? I think that's really, really important. So yeah, I was really quite pleased about this. It's really good. You know, so I'll have to see how it goes, you know, because he's been in this country 2 years so far. So I presume not got permanent residency yet. You have to be 5 years usually here. But you know, he's got no family back in this country, so he hasn't got a reason to go back there. So yeah, it's good so far. I think the best way of telling if it's a healthy video date or not is how you feel afterwards, when you've had time to calm down from the date, you've had time to think about it, you've had time to take in what he said, what I said, what happened, how the person looked, how the person's reactions were, body language. I think you have to take that in subconsciously at the time, because there's kind of a lot going on when you're new to each other. But then I think that afterwards you need to reflect on, how did that person make you feel? What made you feel uneasy? What made you feel comfortable? What wasn't so good? What is so good? But there was much more healthy stuff going on in this. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really anything unhealthy at all. There is some concerns, as in the sense that he's only been in this country for 2 years, but it is good that he's been here for 2 years of his own accord, which is great. You know, so it was like manageable concerns, I guess. You know, and I guess, like, he was saying, like, you know, like, if he was with me, well, he was implying that if he was with me, then he would have a reason to stay, basically, anyway, in the UK for longer, you know, for a long time. But I have made it clear, like, I don't want a short-term or casual relationship. I'm really not into that. So, but he knows that, and I don't think he's into that either. Yeah, so thank you. Hopefully it'll go well. I'm looking forward to the second day. I'm really glad he suggested that already. He did say, I've got to book in with you, like, an appointment, like a doctor. But I just have to schedule everything. You know, I schedule all my friends usually. Like, if I'm seeing them, when I'm speaking to them via Skype, when I'm on a voice call or video call, I schedule everything in, because I need to know that I've got X amount of time for people, where I've got quality time, where I'm not worrying about my work and I'm in the moment with them. It's very important for me. And I was glad that he left some time specifically to have quality time. Quality time is a love language of mine. It's my top love language. So this means that I like a guy who will take a couple or more hours usually out of his time to spend with me. Obviously it's not always possible to do that every day if you end up being in a relationship, because, you know, like, if you've got a lot of work to do, if you're seeing friends or family, you know, it's not always possible to do that long. But he did actually, which I was really impressed with, he suggested that in the future, like, basically if things go well, then it would be nice to just have a like quick video, at least if it's a quick video call every day. And I did actually like that, because if I was to get into a relationship with him, hypothetically, because it's only the first date, I don't want to jump the gun, but obviously he doesn't live in the same city as me. There is distance between us. So I would need a guy who would be video chatting with me a lot. I prefer to schedule my time with friends too. It's good to have a plan. Oh, thank you, Rob. Yeah. So this guy hasn't got plans. Like, he's very, that's the only, there was a like, it's like, he's like, just like very like, living day to day. And I don't live that way. I'm like 5-year plan, like 1 to 2 years really plan, 5-year plan, you know, like, especially career wise, like I know where I want to be career wise, you know. And I love having plans. But I was saying at the beginning of this video, I have got 2 new asexual female friends, and I went with them to aquarium, and literally I had the asexual meet up in my city that I organised on Saturday, and then one of the girls was staying over in my city, the other girl lives in my city, and it was like that, you know, she wanted to do something, and I'm like, oh well, I'm free tomorrow, because I usually try and keep the day after free for meetups anyway, just in case someone wants me to carry on hanging out with them, or some, you know, or I need to rest or whatever. I just intuitively know. So I basically plan for spontaneity. This is the thing. So part of it's intuition and part of it's planning for spontaneity. So I kind of knew, okay, Sunday I keep free just in case I need it. And then one of the girls that stayed over in my city, she was like, I'm over. And I'm like, well, I can see you tomorrow because I'm free, you know? So I kind of can see situations before they happen, so I'm in the best position for them. And it's like with my best female friend, when she used to live in the UK, I used to know she's spontaneous, which is very different to me. But I could predict usually what day she would be spontaneous on and how that day would go. So I was always kind of prepared for when her spontaneity happened, which was quite predictable, which is quite ironic. But once I've got to know a person, I can kind of predict their spontaneity so that I can plan for it. It's kind of crazy. But having the experience with the 2 girls, you know, they're very spontaneous. They like to just go somewhere and do something. And so, you know, what I'm trying to say is I'm quite glad I had the experience with the girlfriends first of all, before I met this guy, because I know that a girl like me who's a planner and organizer and time efficient and time management person can get on really well with people who are not like that so much, providing I think that I work with them, as in they like the girls are just like, yeah, you plan it, I'll show up, you just sort it out. And I like that. I guess maybe that's like one of my masculine qualities in some ways. But I've done a PA course. I've literally got a PA diploma. Rob, oh, I love you so much as an asexual community friend. Yeah, I plan for spontaneity too. It sounds counterintuitive, but it works. It does really work. It works so well, because the only time you can get on really with people who are spontaneous, if you're a not so spontaneous person, is if you plan for their spontaneity. And because you get to know the nuances of your friends and you really care about them, if you're close to them, then you can actually understand them, so you can understand what's coming up. But I didn't know that this particular girl would want to go to the aquarium with me. But because I love the aquarium, I've already got a pass anyway. So all I had to do is pay for food, and I got a disability rail card now. Whoop, whoop. So it's much more cheaper for me to go. And the girl in my city had already been before with me, but she loves it like I do. So, you know, and I was used to planning that because I've planned it a couple of times before, you know. And so it's much better for me to, like, you know, be able to kind of like just say, okay, let's go here, let's just plan it all now and stuff like that, you know. Although I couldn't book the train tickets with a disability rail card on my phone, I had to go home and do that. Well, when I was at home later, I had to do that. but yeah, I was just like, so what I'm trying to say is I'm quite glad I had the experience with the spontaneous girls, because I kind of used to see spontaneity as like something I couldn't really cope with so much. But I think because I've had the experience of the asexual girls recently, then maybe I'll be okay with him, because I'm pretty much like, and also it could be good because if he's not so much of a planner, he might be like more flexible to my plans, which work really well for me. Because I guess in some ways maybe I do need a guy more flexible to my plans in that way, because I'm the one who does all the work throughout the whole day, usually in the night when I'm not seeing my friends or having chill time. I'm specifically vlogging, blogging, writing, video editing all this week, and so I really like I'm all planned out, and so. And I think it's really good he asked me in advance when the next video date was, because I need to plan in advance. I can't be like, I can't be just doing spontaneous stuff, because what happens is I get so stressed from my actual work. And if I get so stressed from my work because, like it's too spontaneous stuff going on, too much spontaneous stuff going on, I can't concentrate on the person and be there for them and have quality time with them, because I'm too busy fretting and anxious and worried and stressed about the fact I haven't got this other stuff done. So that's why I like to compartmentalize my life really, and give time to different people and different types of things. Obviously, if I did get into a relationship with this guy, or even potentially when I'm dating, I have to make some time for him. I already know this because this is how it works in life. You can't not make time for someone if you're wanting to pursue a relationship with someone, or a potential relationship with someone, or when you're actually in one. You have to allocate some time every week, throughout the week for this person, because this is the way it works. And especially if you don't live together, you have to really make sure you're spending quality time, so there's not misunderstandings, there's not miscommunication, so you can know the person better, so you can keep connected emotionally to them. So the fact that he's actually suggested that in the future we might like do a video call every day, even if it's just for a short amount of time, I think that's really, really good, because you can't really have a long distance relationship potentially unless a guy's going to be highly communicative with you. And something I really loved as well is the fact that after the video date, he did message me again to say he enjoyed it, which I thought was really good, because he's maintained the interest after he's finished speaking to me, which I think made me feel really good and happy as well. And he let me know that he's going to be working later and he's going to have his phone on silent. So I was already aware that, I'm not going to be able to get hold of him for these times. Again, that really lowered my anxiety, because as an anxious person, I need someone to spell out to me really what's happening in their life, what's going on. So I'm just kept him up to date and informed, so I feel like they're sharing their life with me even though they're miles away from me. This is kind of how an anxiety induced person maintains a healthy relationship, when it's healthy for them as well. It's no good if I end up with a guy who's just anxiety inducing me all the time. I don't know what's going on in his life and I feel like I'm not part of it. It's not going to work for me. So far so good. But obviously you have to check a person out over a long period of time, like months, to see if they can sustain all this, be consistent, persistent, and guys who can't, you just have to forget. That's what's so hard, because if you are putting time, energy and effort into video dating and the person turns out not to be the right person, you kind of feel like you've wasted your time with all that time, energy and effort you're putting in, so it's kind of a calculated risk really, which you have to weigh up, about against your emotions, feelings, happiness, all that type of thing. But then if you don't take risks, you don't get anywhere in life. If you live in your comfort zone all the time, no one does anything or goes anywhere. And I feel sad that I see so many asexuals in the community and they're not prepared to travel for a relationship. I have to spell it out. You're not likely to find someone suitable for a relationship like on your doorstep. It's just not going to happen. And the fact that some asexuals are just not prepared to travel is just, to my mind, ridiculous. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to be prepared to travel. You can't expect the person that's the right person for you to just be on your doorstep. Life doesn't work, especially not when you're asexual, when there are far less people of us and we have more specialist relationship needs than the majority of the world. It's going to take someone who's got a different approach, different mindset, different perspective to be able to accommodate and facilitate an asexual relationship, It doesn't mean to say there aren't options out there. There are thousands of asexuals around the globe, and there are asexuals maybe in your city. I've got asexuals, but they're not suitable, that live nearer me, but you know what I mean? But they're not suitable for relationship, because every person's got their own needs. And even within the asexual community, like, I love kissing. There's not many guys in the asexual community that love kissing as much as I do, apart from the ones that are really too sexual for me. And so I need someone who's really going to respect my boundaries, really going to like listen to what I say and not try and do things that I don't want to do physically to make me uncomfortable, because I need to be able to kiss without being uncomfortable, which is quite difficult, unless I'm with an asexual guy. So obviously, even for me, considering a heterosexual guy for a potential relationship is a sacrifice for me, because obviously I'm missing out on all the potential asexual guys that I could have a pure love relationship without sex. But if this guy can live without sex and he has a really deep soul, deep heart, deep emotions, it's possible to have a more of a pure love relationship without the sex with a heterosexual guy. It's probably, not, there's like less chance of it with many heterosexual guys, but it's not impossible. I do meet guys that even through this channel that say they're not asexual, they're heterosexual, yet their girlfriend's asexual, right? They're Sparky666. Hello to you if you're out there listening. I think he's around 20 years old. I know he said he was 20, but that might have been a year ago. And his girlfriend is asexual. He doesn't have sex, but she's sex repulsed, and he loves her implicitly. And he told the story in chat about how he almost lost her. Because he thought he could like live without her and be with someone else with sex, basically. And he thought, it was just no go. And then when she went off to uni, he realized, oh my gosh, I can't be without her. I need to be with her and not have the sex, because I'd rather be with her specifically than have sex with someone else. And I love that real life love story. It always warms my heart. And he comes in chat and he supports her by supporting this channel and learning more about asexuality. And he, even in chat, I can say he's an amazing boyfriend for her, as far as I can tell in that way. But he's always like, like he doesn't care what his friends say. Like he said his friends make fun of him because he's with an asexual girl. He doesn't want sex. And they think it's funny and don't understand why he's with her. But he said, I don't care what my friends think. It's not important for me because he's with her. And so there are very limited heterosexual guys that can be in relationships with asexuals. They're very limited, but it doesn't mean to say they don't exist, because not every heterosexual guy is sex driven. And some heterosexual guys have lived years without sex. And if they lived years without sex anyway, it's not like they really need it, is it? So I'll have to see what happens. I think it's kind of a big deal for me that I'm even considering a heterosexual guy again, but he does seem a bit different in that way. I do get the feeling that he's genuine about that. I have to trust him on that. I do feel that. That's really good. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you for now, because I need to go and eat my food. But thank you, Rob, for being here so much. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you also, John. It's lovely to see you. And if you haven't already subscribed now. Hit that great big bell icon so you get notified every time I go live, like now, or post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Share it if you think anyone may benefit and need to hear this right now, and give them some hope and inspiration. I'll see you soon on the next video live stream. Lots of love. Thank you, John and Rob. Thank you, everyone else, for listening and watching. Take care. Buzzy bye.